Queen Rose here. Today's subject is about poverty, being happy with what you got. I grew up kind of poor, and I never really had a whole lot, but man, I was always satisfied with what I had. I can honestly say I always had, or almost always, but the majority of my life I always had food in my belly and clothes on my back and a roof over my head, thankfully. Um, but people do treat you very differently whenever you're in a different socioeconomic bracket. Like, I don't know, back when my boy was just a little feller, we used to go to this local park, and just so happens this one time it was like kind of muddy. We dressed kind of shabby, and we decided we was going to go to the park because it was. I mean, it was a beautiful day, but it had been raining like a couple days prior. We knew there would be like mud and gross stuff, and we knew my son would get dirty, so we dressed, you know, very shabby. Anyway, while at the park, there was these nicely dressed kids, and they're nicely dressed family. They're perfectly, pristinely dressed family. They they looked like, I don't know, looked like they belonged in a freaking dollhouse. Anyway, the kids were playing with the ball down in the grass, and my little boy, he wanted to play ball. The parents kept on calling their children back and did not want my son to play with their children. And they just kept on doing it over and over again. And me and my husband, being the goofballs we decided we got mad. I'm like, all right, they want to treat us like redneck trash. We're going to act like redneck trash, even though we wasn't really redneck trash. So I look at my husband at the time, my first husband. I was like, honey, you gonna buy any of that Pat's Blue Ribbon when we go to the grocery store after we leave here? And he said, yeah, honey. I think I'm gonna buy some Empire crayons too, he says. And I take a sip of my Pepsi when they wouldn't look in. I go, act like I was spitting tobacco. Oh, the woman looked so disgusted, the look on her face, and it was like a few feet from where they were eating. And I'd spit down straight on the ground. It wasn't like I was spitting it at them or anything. And I looked at her and I smiled. She just looked so disgusted. And we kept on being obnoxious buttholes. You know, doing the redneck bit. I mean, we was saying anything under the sun just to aggravate them because they was acting like pure buttholes. And so they moved pavilions, and so we decided, the tennis court was right next to that pavilion. And so we had our tennis racket and our balls with us. And my son, he was little and he used to love to chase the tennis balls. When me and my husband would hit it back and forward, and whenever one of us would miss it, he would go chase after it to get it for us and stuff. So anyway, we got in that, and they was at the pavilion right next to it. And yeah, I could see that woman. She's like, they done moved all their stuff from the car once, and then moved all their stuff from the pavilion up beside the playground another time. To move to the other pavilion that was near the tennis court, and figured, oh, man, these redneck bastards will leave us alone, mate. No, not a chance, not a chance. We were being obnoxious as hell. Not as in enough to get arrested, but as in obnoxious enough just to annoy the hell out of somebody. And what they did next, we kept getting a reaction out of them. That's the only reason that we quit. And that lady kept on giving us the disgusted look. It's because we looked like we was poor redneck trash. And oh, we were so far beneath them. And I enjoyed. I totally took joy in just aggravating the living piss out of these people. And what happened next was great. They packed up their things and they left. And I thought that was awesome. And there are people that'll treat people different because they're poor. Like, don't do that, man. You're a jerk. I once upon a time was in the lower bracket. I'm about in the mid bracket now. And I do notice that people treat me differently. Um, Being in the mid bracket in the neighborhood I live in the town I live in and everything. Uh, Around here it's the good old boys or nothing. And though I'm not part of the good old boys, but I live in the neighborhood near good old boys, so they treat me pretty decent. But that was the funniest thing. If somebody starts acting like an asshole, if you're able to be an obnoxious redneck jerk, and it don't got nothing to do with color, religion, sexuality, or any of that garbage, it has to do with being poor, looking poor, and people thinking, well, they must be trash because of how they're dressed. Like the time I went to the department store and I was going to buy a whole new wardrobe of maternity stuff because when I was pregnant, and I was already a big girl before I got pregnant, and I needed big clothes. I mean, big clothes. And I tried to get the lady from this department store that I won't name the name. I tried to get help, and she actually stops and points out the window to the down the street to the Goodwill down the street. She says, I don't think we have anything you'll like here, but there's a place where you might find something you'll like. And she pointed at the Goodwill out the window of this store. I'm just like, really? And you get paid on commission? Hold on just a minute. So as I was walking out the door, I was counting my money and smiling and laughing. It's like, okay, I'll probably get some better stuff there anyway. But seriously, I decided to go down the hall at the mall just a little bit, and yeah, I had to have clothing, like comfortable clothing, because I was big and pregnant, and there was no way that I wanted to continue on wearing sweatpants and floppy t-shirts. I didn't want to look like crap. I wanted to look good. So anyway, I went down the hall here at the mall and found a trendy little store, and they smiled at me when I come in the door. They were pleasant, and they were offering to help me find what I needed. And I bought at their store, and yeah, I come out with some uh, pretty wild looking. Well, for me, because I'm more conservative. For me, it was wild stuff because there was like patterns and neons and stuff. And back then, I wouldn't wear things even like this. So anyway, actually, it's the same shop I got this hat at here recently, and I still shop there to this day because they didn't look at me because of my clothing. They treated me very well on the way in. So thank you, Factory Connection in Middlesboro, Kentucky. And I still shop there. I changed a little bit of my style, but I don't exactly go for the bright color stuff. But I had comfortable clothes. I bought a whole new wardrobe there. Spent a good amount of money. And I don't know if they get paid on commission, but I know I spent money there. And I still spend money to this day. And the way the other lady treated me at the other place, she missed out. And if somebody starts acting like a jerk, be a jerk back. It's not selfish to be a jerk back to somebody. Yeah, you can choose to walk away, but for me, I I don't I don't deal with it like I used to. I used to let people act like that. Don't do it. But anyway, yeah, that was funny at the park. I'll never forget that. My son, he was a little baby, so he don't remember it. So it ain't like I was being a bad example or anything for my son. But it was a good time. And I'll never forget that day for the rest of my life. Anyway, this is Queen Rose. I figured I'd end it on a positive note. This is Queen Rose signing out. Mwah! Have a fabulous day. Bye.